What do you think is the more spiritual approach to life? Simply trusting the universe or micromanaging every single detail of your life?
Hi, I am Amritashraya.
My name is Devanatha.
And welcome to our YouTube channel. What we've seen around us is that many people who call themselves as spiritual people have an attitude towards life where they feel like, I am someone who simply trusts the universe. I go with the flow of life. Whatever life gives me, it will be the best. And in saying that, they also have this attitude of sometimes ignoring to look at things very closely. They'll just say things happen as they do without taking the responsibility of actually micromanaging the details of life. And somehow this attitude of, hey, I simply trust life and not micromanaging the details of life has become something that we understand as a spiritual approach, or an approach that many spiritual people have. So in this video we want to address that, like why is this simply trusting life, simply trusting the universe, as opposed to actually micromanaging the details of your life? Why would we say that micromanaging the details of life is actually the spiritual approach to life?
In a way, it seems that micromanaging your life is the opposite of just simply trusting the universe. But what do we understand by micromanagement? Micromanagement is knowing all the details. So whatever is going on in your life, whatever you want to achieve, accomplish in your life, that you know what your goals are, you know what the different steps are, you know at what point the steps are, who all is involved, what are the next steps, what is the timeline. Basically it's management to the minute detail, to the small details.
So micromanaging, if you micromanage your life, what happens? What happens if you micromanage your projects, micromanage your finances, micromanage your relationships? To micromanage your projects like the way you just told, knowing everything from A to Z, knowing what is involved, knowing who is involved, you have to have a very high level of awareness. You have to build this high level of awareness, because whenever we are not micromanaging, thinking that we are simply trusting life and simply trusting the universe is actually, it's like a cover-up. It's masking something else. What is it masking? It is masking that at certain things, certain points in life, we are not wanting to look at the reality of life. If you are saying, hey, I'm simply trusting the universe, then it's very, very probable that there are situations in your life you are not willing to face. You are not ready to look at them, look at the detail of them, because you're afraid of what you'll see. You're afraid actually to find your own blind spots. Because whatever happens in any project, whatever happens in your finances or your relationships, it will be a reflection of who you are, what your inner space is. If you're avoiding to look into the details of life, that is exactly the place where your blind spots are and where you are not wanting to look at.
Yeah, Swamiji gave a very good example in one question and answer session in Inner Awakening. One man, he asked Swamiji, how can I improve my financial situation? And Swamiji said, I'll give you one technique. And this one technique was, every day, at the end of the day, look at your financial balance sheet. That's all. And because people who have incompletions with wealth and have problems with money, what they do typically is they don't look at their financial situation, because every time they look at it, every time they open their accounts or they look at their balance sheet, they feel this feeling of incompletion. So what happens? You don't want to look at it. And if you don't look at it, you will not be aware of it. And if you're not aware of it, all things might go wrong and will go wrong.
I also remember watching a video, one of Swamiji's videos, a few years back, quite some years back, where Swamiji makes this one statement, and at that time it was actually almost like a shock to me. It was a complete surprise to me, which did not fit my idea of spirituality back then, where he said, people who are poor can never be spiritual people. And my idea back then about who are spiritual people was very often this idea spiritual people are actually poor, because spiritual people maybe choose not to be so involved with regular society. They have other ideas. They live for their dream. They have their spiritual goals, and they don't mind so much about the worldly life. So when Swamiji said this thing that people who are spiritual will not be poor, I was like, turning my idea about life upside down. But from this concept, if you look at it from this concept of micromanagement, where you know that if you are able to look at the detail of life, to micromanage projects, to micromanage your finances, your relationships, everything, only from that space are you even in a space of high awareness to also manage your inner space, to also micromanage whatever happens in your thoughts, what happens in your emotions, how to handle the ups and downs of life. So what I think is one big misunderstanding that many people have is that trusting life means you kind of like move away from life, let it be for what it is, instead of getting hands-on, instead of getting involved. We think that it's like a spiritual attitude to become a little less involved, to pull ourselves back from life, while the opposite is actually true. If you get involved with life, if you micromanage those details of life, you'll get into a space where you can micromanage both outer world and inner world.
So at first it might seem that simply trusting the universe or micromanaging your life, it's either the one or the other. The two don't seem to match, right? But now we have taken a more closer look, and we've seen basically that micromanaging is the better approach to life, is the more spiritual approach to life. It's also, in a way, it's strange to say, I simply trust the universe and then give away all responsibility. Because who is the universe? What is the universe? We are the universe. We are the cosmos. We are Sadashiva. So we are responsible. We are manifesting every single detail of our life. So when we start to micromanage those details, it means that we can shape and we can create the life we want. So it's not the one or the other. It's by actually realizing that you are constantly creating your life. You are the universe creating itself. That you start to understand why micromanagement is so important. Because if we don't micromanage, every little thought, every little detail or negativity, it will also manifest in our life. So when we start to micromanage our outer world, we train to micromanage the inner world. So we become aware of all the thoughts, all the things that are happening, all the things we are creating, all the seeds we are planting. And when that awareness gets higher and higher, we're just able to shape life the way we want it to be. And that is what makes us spiritual beings, creators, but also successful people in the outer world. So I hope this gives you an idea about micromanagement. Why is it so important in your life? And I hope it clears the misunderstanding that many people have, that spiritual people just trust the universe and sit back and watch what happens.
So thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions on this topic or any other topics, you can always leave a comment below in the comments section. And definitely, if you want to see more videos, then subscribe with the subscribe button below. We hope to see you next week. Every Thursday we post a video. So see you then. Be blissful.
Be blissful.